Emery slammed the door of her beat-up sedan, the engine still ticking from the long drive across state lines. Her hands trembled as she gripped the steering wheel, staring at the familiar colonial house in suburban Chicago where she'd grown up, the place she'd sworn she'd never return to after leaving for college. But here she was back after the devastating end of her 2-year relationship with Adeline, the woman who'd promised forever but shattered it with a single text. "It's over. I can't do this anymore." The betrayal hit like a freight train when Emery walked up the porch steps, suitcase in hand, and heard laughter from inside. Adeline's laughter, unmistakable, mingled with her sister Riley's voice. Pushing the door open, Emery froze. There was Adeline, curled up on the living room couch with Riley, their hands intertwined, a half-empty bottle of wine on the coffee table. Riley's eyes widened in horror, but Adeline just looked up with a mix of defiance and guilt, as if she'd been caught but wasn't sorry enough to let go. Emery's world tilted. How could this happen? Adeline, the woman she'd met at a pride event in the city, the one who'd whispered dreams of a life together away from judgmental eyes. And Riley, her older sister by 3 years, the straight-laced accountant who'd always preached about family values and traditional paths. Emery's mind raced back to the arguments with Adeline, the ones about commitment, about coming out fully to their families. Adeline had always hesitated, citing her conservative upbringing, but now this? Living here, with Riley? Riley? Adeline? What the hell is this? Emery's voice cracked, dropping her bag with a thud. The room fell silent, the air thick with unspoken accusations. Riley pulled her hand away, standing up abruptly. "Emery, you're home early." We didn't expect you until tomorrow." Adeline remained seated, her pixie-cut hair disheveled, eyes avoiding Emery's piercing stare. Inside, Emery's thoughts swirled in chaos. Was this revenge? For pushing too hard? Or had Adeline never truly loved her, just used her as a stepping stone to something safer? Something that looked more normal on the surface? The evening unraveled into a storm of words. Emery demanded answers, her voice rising as she paced the room. "How long has this been going on?" "While I was packing up our apartment, you were here with my sister." Riley tried to interject, her face flushed. "It wasn't planned, Em. After you two broke up, Adeline reached out. She was hurting and I was there." Adeline finally spoke, her tone defensive. "You left me no choice, Emery. You wanted everything out in the open, parades and announcements. I wasn't ready." Riley understands that. Emery's heart pounded with fury and hurt. Understands? Riley, who had barely acknowledged Emery's sexuality when she came out at 19, dismissing it as a phase. The sister who'd set up blind dates with men, hoping to fix things. Now she was the one holding Adeline's hand? The irony burned. Emery thought back to her own coming out. The family dinner where her parents exchanged worried glances, her father muttering about what the neighbors would think, her mother suggesting therapy. Riley had sided with them, urging Emery to keep it quiet for the family's sake. But Adeline had been her escape, her affirmation. They'd built a life in the city, away from the suburbs' stifling expectations. Late nights talking about dreams, Adeline's hands in hers, promising a future. Now that future was here, twisted into something grotesque. Emery's mind screamed, "How do I face this? Run away again? Or fight for what's left of my family?" As night fell, Emery retreated to her old bedroom upstairs, the walls still plastered with faded posters from her teen years. She sat on the bed, knees drawn up, replaying every moment. Adeline's hesitation to meet her family. Had that been a sign? The way Riley had visited them once, lingering a bit too long in conversations with Adeline. Emery's jealousy back then had been dismissed as paranoia. Now it all clicked, a puzzle of betrayal snapping into place. Downstairs, she could hear muffled voices, Riley and Adeline arguing in whispers. Part of Emery wanted to storm down, demand Adeline leave, but another part, the wounded one, wondered if she deserved this. Had she pushed too hard for authenticity in a world that punished it? Her thoughts turned inward. I'm the one who left home to live freely, but freedom came with isolation. Now coming back, I've lost even more. The next morning brought no relief. Emery woke to the smell of coffee, forcing herself downstairs. Riley was alone in the kitchen, Adeline nowhere in sight. "She went for a run," Riley said. avoiding eye contact as she poured a cup. Emery took it, the warmth doing nothing to thaw the ice in her veins. "We need to talk," Emery said flatly. Riley nodded, sitting across from her. "I didn't mean to hurt you. Just happened. Adeline said you two were done for good." Emery's grip tightened on the mug. "And you believed her? Or did you want to believe her because it gave you an excuse?" Riley's eyes flashed with defensiveness. "Excuse for what? For finally feeling something real? You've always been the rebel, the one who gets to live out loud. I've played by the rules, good job, stable life, and what do I have? Emptiness. Until her." The words stung, revealing cracks in Riley's facade. Emery had always seen her sister as the perfect one, the one their parents praised. But now Riley's confession hinted at deeper unrest. Years of suppressing her own desires to fit the mold. Was this Riley's awakening, or just a midlife crisis at 31? Emery pondered. Am I angry at them, or at the system that forces us into these boxes? Their parents were due back from their vacation in a week, oblivious to the chaos. Emery imagined the scene. Mom's shocked gasp, Dad's stern disapproval. Would they blame her for bringing Adeline into the family? Or see Riley's involvement as a greater sin? The thought fueled Emery's resolve. She couldn't let this destroy everything. But how to confront it without tearing herself apart? Adeline returned, sweaty from her run, and the tension reignited. "We should all sit down," Adeline suggested, her voice steady but eyes betraying nervousness. They gathered in the living room, the same spot as last night. Emery started. "Tell me the truth. When did this start?" Adeline glanced at Riley, then back. "A month ago. After our fight about moving in together permanently. You wanted labels, Emery. I needed space." Space that led her straight to Riley. Emery's mind raced. Was I too demanding? Or was Adeline always looking for an out? The conversation spiraled, accusations flying. Riley defended Adeline, saying Emery had been controlling. Emery shot back that Riley was poaching. Hurt words piled up, each one a brick in the wall between them. By afternoon, exhaustion set in. Emery excused herself, driving aimlessly through the neighborhood. Memories flooded. Childhood games with Riley, the bond they'd shared before life complicated it. Now that bond was fractured. Returning home, she found Adeline packing a bag. "I'm leaving," Adeline said. "This isn't fair to anyone." But Riley protested, grabbing her arm. The scene twisted Emery's gut. Her ex and sister, fighting over each other in front of her. Emery intervened. "No, stay. We need to hash this out." Her voice was calm, but inside turmoil raged. "Why am I fighting for this? To reclaim Adeline? Or to force them to face the consequences?" As they talked late into the night, layers peeled back. Adeline admitted her fear of commitment stemmed from her own family's rejection. Riley confessed she'd questioned her sexuality for years but buried it. Emery listened, her anger mixing with empathy. But empathy didn't erase the pain. She thought, in trying to live authentically, have I forced others into hiding? Or is this just the price of truth? The night ended unresolved, each retreating to separate rooms, the house heavy with unspoken regrets. The following days blurred into a tense standoff. Emery avoided the house as much as possible, taking long walks in the nearby park where she'd once confessed her feelings to her first crush in high school. The trees whispered secrets but offered no solutions. Back home, Adeline and Riley tiptoed around her, their stolen glances a constant reminder of the rift. Emery's mind churned. How do I rebuild when the foundation is betrayal? One evening their parents called from Florida, excited about coming home. Emery answered, forcing cheer into her voice. "Everything's fine here," she lied, her stomach nodding. Hanging up, she confronted Riley in the kitchen. "What are you going to tell them? That you've suddenly switched teams?" Riley's face hardened. "Don't mock me, Em. This isn't a game. For the first time I feel alive." Alive at my expense, Emery thought bitterly. Adeline joined them, sensing the storm. "We should tell them together," she proposed. Emery laughed harshly. "Together? Like a happy throuple announcement." The sarcasm masked her fear. The family's reaction could shatter them all. Their parents, devout Catholics, had barely tolerated Emery's coming out. Riley's involvement would be seen as corruption. As the conversation heated, old grievances surfaced. Riley accused Emery of always stealing the spotlight with her dramatic life choices. "You left us to deal with Mom and Dad's disappointment alone," Riley said. Emery retorted, "I left because staying meant pretending. You chose to stay and play perfect." Adeline tried mediating, but her words rang hollow. After all, she jumped from one sister to the other. Emery's inner voice screamed, "Am I the villain here? For wanting honesty? Or are they for hiding behind excuses?" That night, alone in her room, Emery scrolled through old photos on her phone. Her and Adeline at a festival, smiling freely. Tears came unbidden. She'd given up so much for that love. Friends who didn't understand, a job in a more accepting city. Now it was ashes. The next day brought a turning point. Emery found Adeline crying on the porch. "I messed up," Adeline admitted. "I thought Riley was safe, no pressure." Emery sat beside her, the proximity stirring old feelings. "Safe? From what?" "From me." Adeline nodded. "You pushed for everything, marriage, kids." "I panicked." Emery's heart ached. Had her dreams scared Adeline away? They talked for hours, unraveling the threads of their relationship. Adeline revealed her own traumas. A father who disowned a gay uncle. A mother who prioritized appearances. With Riley, it's quiet. No expectations. Emery pondered. Is quiet the same as real? Or just another closet? Riley interrupted, jealousy flashing in her eyes. "What are you two doing?" The accusation hung heavy, roles reversing. A fight erupted, Riley yelling at Adeline for confiding in Emery. Adeline defended herself, saying she needed closure. Emery watched, detached yet involved, thinking, "This is the chaos I feared, but also the truth emerging." By evening they agreed to a truce for the parents' sake. But tensions simmered. When their parents arrived, the house buzzed with false normalcy. Mom hugged Emery tightly. "So glad you're home, dear. What happened with that friend of yours?" The word friend stung. A reminder of their denial. Dad clapped her on the back. "You'll find a nice guy soon." Emery forced a smile, her mind racing. If only they knew. Dinner was awkward. Adeline, invited under the guise of Emery's old roommate, sat nervously. Riley's foot tapped under the table. As plates cleared, Emery's resolve cracked. "Mom, Dad, there's something we need to discuss." The room stilled. Riley shot her a warning look, but Emery pressed on. "Adeline and I were more than roommates. We were together. But now, she's with Riley." The silence exploded. Mom gasped, hand to her chest. Dad's face reddened. "What nonsense is this?" Accusations flew. Dad blamed Emery for influencing Riley. Mom cried about grandchildren and family shame. Riley defended herself tearfully. "It's not her fault. I felt this way for years." Adeline tried to explain, but Dad cut her off. "You, get out of my house." Emery watched the fallout, guilt gnawing. Did I force this confrontation too soon? Or was silence the greater betrayal? Adeline left in tears, Riley following her out. Their parents turned on Emery. "This is your doing," Dad thundered. "Bringing that lifestyle here." Emery stood her ground. "It's not a lifestyle. It's who we are." Alone with her thoughts that night, Emery questioned everything. Had her push for openness destroyed the family? Or exposed the rot already there? The next morning, Riley returned alone. Adeline's staying with a friend. She needs space. Emery nodded, empathy mixing with resentment. "And you? What now?" Riley sighed. "I don't know. But thank you for forcing the truth." The sisters talked, bridging years of distance. Riley admitted her envy of Emery's courage. Emery confessed her loneliness in that courage. For the first time they connected as equals, wounds raw but healing possible. But Adeline's absence loomed. Emery texted her. "We need to talk." Alone. Adeline agreed, meeting at a coffee shop. Face to face, old sparks flickered. "I miss you," Adeline whispered. Emery's heart raced. Is this redemption? Or another mistake? They parted undecided, the pull strong. Back home, parents' coldness persisted. Dad avoided her. Mom prayed audibly for guidance. Emery endured, thinking. The price of authenticity is high, but hiding costs more. As days passed, rumors spread in the neighborhood, whispers at the grocery store, stares from old friends. Social pressure mounted, testing their resolves. Riley confided in Emery. I'm scared. What if I lose everything? Emery hugged her. You might. But you'll gain yourself. Inside, Emery doubted. Am I strong enough to guide her when I'm barely holding on? Weeks turned into a fragile routine. Emery took a temp job at a local bookstore, escaping the house's suffocating atmosphere. Shelving books, she lost herself in stories of love and loss, mirroring her own. But reality intruded. Texts from Adeline, tentative at first, then more insistent. Can we try again? One read. Emery stared at it, torn. Forgiveness or self-preservation? Riley noticed the shift. You're talking to her? She asked one night, voice laced with hurt. Emery admitted it. Just talking. Riley's eyes filled with tears. After everything, you'd take her back? The accusation reopened wounds. Emery defended. You took her from me first. Riley shot back. She came to me because you drove her away. The argument escalated, echoing through the house. Their parents intervened, Dad demanding peace. Enough of this drama. But Mom, softer now, pulled Emery aside. Is this what you want? More pain. Emery pondered. Do I want Adeline back, or just to win? The question haunted her. Adeline suggested a weekend getaway to talk, nothing more. Emery agreed against Riley's protests. Driving to a cabin in Wisconsin, memories flooded. Their first trip together, full of promise. Now caution tempered hope. At the cabin they walked by the lake, words flowing. Adeline apologized deeply. I was wrong. Scared. Riley was a mistake. Emery listened, heart softening. But doubt lingered. Can trust be rebuilt? They spent hours dissecting the past. Adeline's fears, Emery's pressures. By firelight, Adeline reached for her hand. Emery allowed it, a spark reigniting. But she pulled back. What about Riley? Adeline sighed. It was comfort, not love. Returning home, Riley waited, furious. You went with her? A confrontation ensued, sisters facing off. Riley accused Emery of betrayal. Emery countered. You started this. Tears flowed as Riley admitted. I thought she was my chance to be real. Emery's empathy surged. We're all victims of our fears. The family dinner that followed was pivotal. Dad announced. This can't continue. Choose family or this. Mom nodded sadly. Riley hesitated, then stood. I choose me. Emery followed suit. Me too. The declaration shocked their parents. Dad stormed out, Mom pleaded. But the sisters united, a bond forged in fire. Adeline re-entered the picture, complicating alliances. She moved back in temporarily at Riley's reluctant invitation to resolve things. Tensions peaked when old friends visited unaware. Whispers turned to questions. What's going on? Emery deflected, but inside. How long can we hide? A community event, a church fundraiser, forced exposure. Their parents insisted they attend for appearances. There, neighbors gossiped openly. One woman cornered Emery. Heard about your sister. Shameful. Emery snapped. Love isn't shameful. The word spread, amplifying backlash. Riley faced similar judgment at work, colleagues distancing. She confided in Emery. Is it worth it? Emery replied. Only you decide. But Adeline's presence strained them. One night, Adeline and Riley argued fiercely. You used me. Riley yelled. Adeline retorted. You wanted it too. Emery mediated, exhausted. Her thoughts. Am I the glue or the wedge? As resolutions loomed, Adeline proposed. Let's leave together, start fresh. Emery considered. Escape again? Or stay and fight? Riley's decision came first. She packed, moving to the city. I need space to figure myself out. Emery hugged her goodbye, mixed emotions swirling. Loss but also pride. With Riley gone, Adeline pressed Emery. Now it's us. But Emery hesitated. The betrayal's scar ran deep. I need time. Adeline left hurt, promising to wait. Alone, Emery confronted her parents. You drove us to this. Dad softened slightly. We love you, but... Mom interrupted. We're trying to understand. Progress, albeit slow. Emery joined a support group for LGBTQ families, sharing her story. Hearing others' struggles validated her. We're not alone in this fight. But doubts persisted. Did my choices cause unnecessary pain? Months passed. Riley called regularly, thriving in her new life, dating women openly. Thanks to you, she said. Emery smiled, but envy tinged it. She's free while I'm stuck mending. Adeline returned for a visit. I've changed, she claimed. They talked, walls crumbling. Emery admitted. I still love you. A tentative reconciliation began. Cautious steps forward. But society pushed back. A family friend's wedding invited them separately. Attending together sparked scandal. Relatives shunned them. Emery thought. Is love worth the isolation? The climax built when Dad suffered a health scare. A mild heart attack. In the hospital, truths emerged. I don't want to lose my girls, he whispered. Mom agreed. We'll try. A fragile acceptance dawned. Emery reflected. Sacrifice led here, but was it right? With Adeline by her side, hope flickered. Yet Riley's absence reminded of costs. Healing was uneven. Emery and Adeline rebuilt slowly. Therapy sessions uncovering buried resentments. I felt trapped, Adeline confessed. Emery nodded. I felt abandoned. Progress came in fits, trust rebuilding brick by brick. But Riley's updates brought mixed feelings. Her new girlfriend, her freedom. One call changed everything. Riley announced. I'm coming home for Thanksgiving. Tension mounted. Would old wounds reopen? Emery prepared, mind racing. Can we coexist? The holiday arrived. The house decorated half-heartedly. Riley entered with her partner, Sarah, a confident artist. Parents greeted awkwardly but politely. Adeline hung back, guilt evident. Dinner proceeded with forced conversation, until Dad raised a toast. To family, however it looks. Emery's heart swelled, but skepticism lingered. Words or real change? Post-dinner, sisters talked privately. Riley admitted. Seeing you with Adeline hurts, but I'm happy for you. Emery hugged her. We all paid a price. Sarah's presence added layers. Her outspokenness challenged parents' views. Love is love, she declared. Mom engaged, curious. Dad listened silently. Emery thought. External voices catalyzed change. But backlash followed. Extended family boycotted future gatherings, citing moral decay. Parents wavered, pressuring subtly. Maybe tone it down. Emery resisted. No more hiding. Adeline struggled too. Her job suffered from rumors, colleagues judging. Is it worth it? She asked Emery. Yes, Emery affirmed, but inwardly doubted. Am I asking too much? A pivotal moment came at a pride parade. Emery invited everyone. Riley and Sarah joined enthusiastically. Parents declined, but Adeline attended hesitantly. Marching, Emery felt empowered, Adeline's hand in hers. But a counter-protester's shout, sinners, shook Adeline. This is what I fear, she said later. Emery pondered. Push forward or compromise? Their relationship strained under pressure. Arguments resurfaced. You want the spotlight. I want peace. Emery retorted. Peace in denial? Riley mediated via video. Balance is key. Her advice helped, but decisions loomed. Emery took a stand at work, coming out fully. Support varied, some allies, others distant. The isolation hit hard. Friends faded, social circles shrank. Family therapy followed, parents attending reluctantly. Revelations poured. Dad's own suppressed doubts, Mom's fear of judgment. We raised you to be strong, Dad said. Emery replied. Strength means authenticity. Bonds strengthened, but Adeline cracked. I can't do this, she confessed one night. The constant fight. Emery's world shattered again. Another loss? They parted amicably, Adeline seeking quieter paths. Alone, Emery grieved. Love demands sacrifice, but how much? Riley visited, offering support. You taught me to be brave. Together they navigated, sisters united. Parents evolved, attending a PFLAG meeting. We're learning, Mom said. Dad nodded. For you. Emery dated casually, wary of commitment. A new woman, Jordan, entered, understanding, patient. But shadows of past lingered. Trust issues surfaced. At a family reunion, tensions peaked. An uncle confronted. This lifestyle is destroying us. Emery defended. It's not destroying, it's evolving. Riley backed her, Sarah amplifying. Parents sided with daughters, a turning point. Reflection deepened. Choices have ripples, some healing, some harming. Emery wondered. Was the pain necessary for growth? As time passed, equilibrium settled. Emery and Jordan grew closer. Riley thrived, parents accepted. Adeline faded into memory, a lesson learned. But questions remained. In pursuing truth, did we lose more than we gained? Years later, the scars had faded but not vanished. Emery, now 32, sat in her Chicago apartment, Jordan beside her, planning a quiet wedding. Riley, married to Sarah, called often, their bond unbreakable. Parents visited, pride in their voices. We're so happy for you. But memories resurfaced during quiet moments. Emery recalled the initial shock, the betrayals, the fights. Each decision carried weight. Confronting family, forgiving Adeline temporarily, supporting Riley's journey. The costs, lost relationships, emotional toll, balanced against gains. Authenticity, stronger ties. Adeline reappeared via social media. In a stable relationship, living discreetly. A message. Thank you for pushing me to face myself. Emery replied graciously, closure finally. Society's pressures persisted. Laws changing but prejudices lingering. Emery volunteered at LGBTQ centers, helping others navigate similar storms. The fight is worth it, she told a young woman mirroring her past. Reflecting inwardly. My choices sparked chaos but also awakening. Was it right to force truths, or should I have let sleeping dogs lie? Family gatherings now celebrated diversity. Dad shared stories of his evolution. Mom baked for pride events. Riley's children adopted, called Emery Auntie M. A full circle. Yet doubts whispered. Did my insistence on openness cause unnecessary suffering? Or was silence the true betrayal? Jordan noticed Emery's pensiveness. Penny for your thoughts? Emery smiled. Just grateful. But inside the debate raged. In the end, life moved forward, lessons etched deep. The drama that once consumed them forged resilience, but at what price? Was forcing authenticity upon a reluctant family and lover ultimately the right choice, or a selfish imposition that amplified pain? Years unfolded like chapters in a turbulent novel, each page turning with lingering echoes of that fateful return home. Emery, approaching her mid-30s, had carved out a life that felt authentic, though scarred. She and Jordan, a compassionate therapist she'd met at a support group, shared a cozy apartment overlooking Lake Michigan, their days filled with quiet routines that masked the storms of the past. Wedding plans were underway. Not a grand affair but intimate, surrounded by those who'd weathered the chaos with her. Riley's life paralleled in vibrancy. Married to Sarah for 2 years, they'd adopted twins, infusing their home with laughter that Emery envied during visits. You're next, Riley teased over video calls, her eyes sparkling with the freedom she'd claimed. Their parents, transformed in ways once unimaginable, doted on the grandkids, their initial resistance softened by time and therapy. Dad, retired now, volunteered at community events, his gruff exterior hiding a newfound allyship. Mom sent care packages, including rainbow-themed cookies for Pride Month. But in solitary moments, Emery's mind wandered back to the genesis, the door opening to Adeline and Riley entwined, the shockwave that dismantled her world. She'd replay the decisions, the confrontations that exposed hypocrisies, the forgiveness extended and withdrawn, the stands taken against societal tides. Each action bore consequences. Friends lost to discomfort, careers stalled by whispers, emotional reserves depleted. Adeline's path intersected sporadically. A mutual friend mentioned her stable life in a smaller town, partnered with a woman who preferred privacy. When Adeline reached out online, her message was poignant. You forced me to confront my fears. I'm grateful, even if it hurt. Emery responded with measured warmth. We all grew from it. Closure, but tinged with what-ifs. What if I'd compromised more? Would we have avoided the fractures? Volunteering at an LGBTQ youth center became Emery's outlet, where she mentored teens grappling with identity. One girl, 17 and terrified of family rejection, mirrored Emery's youth. Should I tell them? She asked. Emery paused, her advice weighted. Truth has power, but timing matters. Protect your heart. Inside, she questioned. Did I protect mine? Or rush headlong into battle? Family dynamics had evolved into something resilient. Thanksgiving dinners now included toasts to diversity, stories shared without filters. Dad confessed over turkey. I was wrong to judge. Fear blinded me. Mom nodded, her eyes misty. We almost lost you both. Riley and Emery exchanged glances, a silent acknowledgement of the battles fought. Yet, external pressures persisted. Legislation ebbed and flowed, rights gained and threatened. A local debate on school policies ignited old flames. Emery spoke at a town hall, voice steady. Denying who we are harms everyone. Backlash followed. Anonymous emails, social media trolls. Jordan held her through nights of doubt. You're making a difference. But Emery wondered. At what personal cost? Jordan's patience grounded her, their relationship a haven. We don't have to fight every war, Jordan reminded. Emery agreed outwardly but inwardly. Some wars choose us. A reunion with extended family tested resolve. An aunt still unyielding cornered Emery. Your choices divided us. Emery replied calmly. No, silence did. Riley backed her, Sarah adding fire. Parents intervened supportively, a far cry from past silences. As the wedding neared, reflections deepened. Emery journaled. The drama of betrayal, reconciliation, and growth shaped us. But was my push for unfiltered truth selfless, or did it impose my ideals on others' timelines? The ceremony was beautiful, vows exchanged under a canopy of lights. Riley as maid of honor, parents beaming. In the afterglow, Emery felt peace, but the question lingered. Life continued, victories small and large. The twins' first pride parade, hand in hand with grandparents. Emery's promotion at a progressive firm. Yet, in quiet the debate endured. In a world of hidden prejudices, is aggressive authenticity liberation or provocation? Was Emery's insistence on immediate, full disclosure the ethical path that fostered growth, or a controversial choice that unnecessarily escalated family and personal turmoil?